We heard from the Treasury Secretary moments ago. Want to break down those headlines with Tyler Kendall. She's got more. Hey, Tyler.
Yeah, hey, John. Well, some new ideas being floated by the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent in this interview as this White House plays defense when it comes to their plans to help combat rising oil prices after the escalation in attacks on energy infrastructure that we saw overnight. Now, as you've already outlined, the U.S. Treasury Secretary saying that the U.S. could, quote, unsanction Iranian oil that is already floating at sea. We have to keep in mind the administration has defended similar moves when it comes to Russian barrels floating at sea, often saying that that would only be a temporary move. The Treasury Secretary also saying that we could see another tapping of the Strategic Petroleum Reserve after this 172 million barrel release that's set to take place over the next 4 months. Just for context here, the SPR currently sits at about 60% capacity amid concerns about refilling it back up. Now, of course, the priority for the White House in this conflict is getting the Strait of Hormuz reopened. And you mentioned that headline from Scott Bessent there seeming to indicate that Carg Island could still be a legitimate target after President Trump tried to scale back and de-escalate, as we've seen these targets on energy infrastructure. I want to point out that right now there is a Pentagon briefing that is ongoing, and we heard from the Joint Chiefs of Staff Dan Kane, who made it a point to reiterate that the U.S. only hit military targets on Carg Island last Friday. Bessent also here appearing to perhaps pressure the Japanese Prime Minister ahead of her visit to the White House here today, touting how Japan has a lot of these mine-sweeping capabilities that could ultimately help to secure the Strait of Hormuz. He also did defend the U.S.'s decision to delay that planned summit between President Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping, saying that it is only due to logistics and not because of China's refusal to help secure the strait. John, I did catch up with the U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer yesterday, who reiterated that to me, but also said that U.S. negotiators made it clear to Beijing that it is in their best interest if they help to secure the Strait of Hormuz.